Yes.
Okay, basically, the cards are issued to Nigerians that have come into the National Identity Database. That means you have registered and you have a NIN, and your NIN is verifiable. So what you do, we have various ways which you can apply for the card. We have an online portal that is going to come on board. It's going to become, as soon as the card is launched, it's going to be rolled. So you can just, from the comfort of your home, from your phone, you can sit down and apply for this card. You can walk into any bank. We are partnering with banks, just like he said. So NIMC is on board, so you can walk into any of the partner banks and request for this card. You can also go, subsequently, we're also hoping to have maybe like authorized agents that will be able to issue this card. So we're trying to make it as seamless as possible.
How
like
much
I said earlier,
to get the card?
Cost?
To be honest, as at now, we don't have the cost has not been determined, or we are working towards ensuring that we keep the cost as minimal as possible. We all actually understand how the country is, and it's something that we expect every Nigerian to have. So we are looking at keeping it to the barest minimum. So as soon as we launch, you definitely get the cost.
We ask this because I know you're targeting the vulnerable. Some people can't even afford a square meal every day. So how can they afford to pay? Are the vulnerable getting it for free?
Like he said, the G2P card is program-based. So what it means is that each of these programs, these people will come up with the names of the people that they want to give this incentive
So
to.
how do you verify these names?
Ones,
how do you, that's what I was asking. You talked about vulnerable Nigerians. I mean, how do you verify that these people are vulnerable? If you say an organization will come up and bring names and say these are people to benefit from a government incentive, I mean, names can be manufactured from anywhere. So how do you verify that these people need such incentive so that NIMC is doing the needful in getting the right people registered under this program to benefit from these government incentives?
Each government agency has its program. If you look at the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, they have things like conditional cash transfer. We heard of things like trader money. They do their own homework and come up with their list. There's a National Social Register which captures the vulnerable and all that. So basically, because of that, like I said, we're working with Agric. Agric already has a database of, somehow knows who these farmers are. So what they are doing now is to build a registry. They go and verify, they know these people. So we use the name as the foundational identity. Every other thing rests on the name. So if you are a farmer and you have a name, the Ministry of Agriculture can go a step further and maybe add other things that he wants to add. He wants to know where your farm is located. He wants to know what the size of your farm is, what are the crops you deal in. So the name is the foundational identity. And as we know, the name is issued to somebody who is existing, who you can verify and say this person is actually existing.
So in the first instance, if you don't have a name, you can't partake in this scheme?
You can partake because you'll be registered to have a name. If you don't have a name and you are part of the project, you'll be issued a name because we'll register you. And then you get a name and then you become part of the process.
You are the Assistant Director, Card Management Services.
Yes, please.
How do you identify Nigerians and
non-Nigerians?
Yes. How do you identify? How do we begin to identify? Because, you know, we have a porous border. You know, people come into Nigeria and before you know they are Nigerians, they have NIN and all. How do you begin to separate and identify Nigerians with non-Nigerians?
Okay.
How is that possible? Because even the National Register you've been talking, even the National Register we've been talking about has issues.
I will gladly take that question.
Yes, the National Register has issues.